So today's class, day 4, and we are going to look into lists and tuples. Okay, two data structures that we are going to see. So in lists, so we are going to see list operations. Okay, and we are going to see list indexing. Yeah. So yesterday we have seen. Sorry. Yesterday, I seen string indexing and a little bit introduction to lists. So, yeah, as I've told you, so lists are mutable. Okay, so they can store any kind of data type, any data structure, and anything. So it can be updated. Okay, and any value inside of a list can be deleted. Okay, and I've shown you how to create lists. Okay, different ways of creating a list. So using a split for a string, so string dot split, so it will be converted into a list format. And one more thing is putting square brackets and then adding your data. And then one more thing is list function, predefined list function to applied on any variable. So that works. And we also have seen two inbuilt functions, two operations. One is append and one is extend. So append is to add data data inside a list. So single values can be added into a list. Okay, and extend is basically going to add so multiple values at a time. Okay, so that's what we have seen yesterday. And now let's take an empty list. Okay, so I'll continue from, I'll copy this one only. Okay, okay, let's print list one. Okay, so this is our list and we are going to apply some different operations in list. Okay, so let's see other operations. So yesterday we have seen append and we have seen extend. Okay, so we have to see other items as well. Okay, so I'll come to clear and copy at the last. Okay, and count, coming to the count. So count is basically going to count number of occurrence of a specific value. So if you do shift tab, so it is needing a particular variable, sorry, a particular parameter called value. So it returns the number of occurrences of a specific value. So if you mention any value, okay, so if you are mentioning something like, say for example 1, okay, let's consider 1. So it simply says how many times it is occurred. Okay, how many times 1 has occurred in our list. Okay, so it is simply saying 5 times. Okay, 5 times. But actually, so actually to be specific, 1 has occurred only 2 times. 1 here and 1 here. Okay, of course this is 1, but as I told you, it is list of 3 values. So this whole thing is a value. Okay, even if you're even if you consider this and this also, this is 4 only, but you should not consider all that. So this is not going to be a single value. Okay, sorry, this whole thing is a single value. These are not separated values. Okay, so even this is also not a separated value. But why did we get 5 here? The number of values, the number of times 1 occurred is 5. So here, because of true, okay, there are 3 times. True is 3 times. Okay, so always true is considered as 1 and false is considered as 0 in programming languages. Okay, any programming languages, true is 1 and false is 0. So that's why when I do list1 dot count of 1, so how many times the 1 is occurring, so it is showing me 5. Okay, and if I exactly try to find out how many times 0 is occurred, so it gives me including the falses. Okay, so count of 0. Okay, only once. I think it should be at the start. Okay, let's do false. False is also 1. Let's add 0 at the starting. Okay, let me just see, because it should be here. Okay, so let me say this as list 2. So let's print list 2. Okay, and now let's do this. List 1 dot count of 0. So 0 is occurring multiple times, but it is not showing. So fine, A is fine. So let's look at 2. 2 is obviously it is 2 times only. So here 2 and here it is 2. Why 0 isn't? Oh, sorry, it is 30. Oh, sorry, this is 30 actually. I am confused. Okay, fine. 10, 30, 40. So 0 is separating from false. So generally it should be combined value, but somehow it is not giving. Maybe changing the versions, but it actually has to be like this. So if I'm giving 1, it should be like that. So 1 is going to be repeated. So 1 true, and 1. Or to be specific, let's create one more list of stating 1 comma true comma 1 comma true, something like this. So if I check list 3 dot count of 1, so 4 times. Okay, so 1 is considered, true is considered as 1. Okay, simply true is considered as 1. So actually false also should be. Let's see, I am just trying again. So now it is working here. 0 and false is working here, but here it is not working. I am not sure why. Oh, sorry, I am looking in list 1. Little confusion, guys. Sorry. List 2 dot count of 0. Yeah, we have 2. Fine. Okay, so I'm applying in list 1. So it's actually we have to check in list 2 because I saved in list 2. Sorry for the confusion. Okay, so zeros are considered as false. Okay, so whatever false and 0 are there, if there are 2, so they are always same, 0 and false, and trues and ones are always same, both are same. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, so that's count. Okay, so that's basically count operation. So it is just going to show us the number of occurrences of a specific value. Okay, count shows number of occurrences of a specific value. Okay, and coming to the next, so let me take list 1 dot. So count we did, extend we did. Let's see index. So returns first index of the value. Okay, returns first index of the value. So say for example, if I am giving 1, okay, so the position of the number 1 inside the list will be the output. Okay, the position of this particular number, whatever the value that I am putting inside the index here, so it is just going to give me the position. So 1 is so let me print list 1. Let me print list 1 before. So you can see here it is in the second position. Okay, so you can see here it is in the second position. That's what the output simply. Okay, that's what the output. So list one dot index. So we know A is in the starting value, so which is 0th position. So let me try A. So execute, and it is showing you it is in the 0th position. Okay, it is showing you it is in the 0th position. Similarly, let's say I wanted to find the position. I wanted to find the position of 1. Okay, I wanted to find the position of 1 here. Like so, here it is fine. Okay, I know that this one is in the second position. I don't know what is the position of this one. Okay, so in that case, so you can do list one dot index of. So you just need to put the position. Okay, from so you want one. Okay, and then from which position you wanted to start. Okay, from where you wanted to check. I don't want to check the second one. I want to check from the third position. So what I can do is I can say start starting value as 0 simply. Sorry, starting value is 3. Okay, from third position. So from here onwards I need to check. Okay, so after that it says 8 because in 8th position there is true again. Okay, so if I say 8, so if I put 8 at 8 as a starting, so again this position will come. Okay, and then this position will come for true, and then this position. So to find out, so clearly we can say, so you can just mention the start value and then you can find out the uh, forwarding value. So if I put 8, okay, that means we know at the 8th position there is true. So now I'll put here 9, so that it gives me 11th position. So this is 9. Okay, so sorry, this is 8, this is 9, 10 and 11. Okay, so 12 and 13. Next I'll get the 13th value. So if I put 12, obviously the 13th value is true. Okay, so if I am putting 13, so after that, sorry, 14 I have to put. So after that 14, so here I have this one. This whole thing is a 14th value. Okay, this whole thing is a 14th value. So this is my 15th value. So simply the other one, so the other number one is in the 15th position. Okay, the other number one is in the 15th position. So like that you can check. Okay, you can mention the starting position and you can also mention the stopping position. Okay, stopping where you, at which point you want to stop checking. Okay, at which point you want to stop checking. Okay, so that's what the index. Okay, index is basically going to give you the position where that particular value is there. Okay, so returns the position of the value given. Okay, it just returns the position of the value that is given. Okay, and coming to the next one, so insert. So let's, okay, so yesterday we have seen append and extend. So when we are doing append and extend, so when we are doing append and extend, they are adding at the end. Okay, so at the end itself the values are getting added. So if you see, so whatever that number we have added, they are added at the end only. Okay, but not at the starting. So or starting or middle or anywhere. Okay, so for that case, so if you want to add a value anywhere in the middle, okay, so if you want to add a value anywhere in the middle, you can simply use insert. Okay, you just need to mention the position, at which position you want. Okay, at which position you want. Say for example, you need to insert at second position. So we know at the second position it is 1. Okay, you in the second position it is 1. Okay, so you just need to give the index and followed by the value. What is the value that you want to insert? Okay, let's say I will be inserting Avinash. Okay, execute, and it is stored, guys. You cannot see the output, you have to print it separately. So print list one. So you can see in the second position. Okay, 0 1 2. So Avinash is there now. Okay, that means I can clearly insert anywhere I want. Okay, so anywhere I want I can insert. That is what the usage of insert. Okay, so to insert a value, okay, to insert any value at any position, okay, at any position we can use insert. Okay, so, sorry, to insert a value at any position, simply, okay, insert function. Okay, so that's what the usage of insert, simply. Okay, and coming to the next thing, next one, dot pop. So pop is basically deleting, okay, deleting a value. Okay, deleting a value. So generally what happens is, by default it removes the index position -1. Okay, it removes the index position -1, and when you are executing this one, it shows what is exactly deleting. Okay, what exactly is getting deleted. So that means, so if I execute this, the last value is 40. Okay, the last value is 40. It is showing that it is deleted. This particular value is deleted. Okay, that particular value is deleted. And if you want to remove, if you want to pop something else, okay, if you want to delete something else, okay, some other position value. Okay, so let's say I want to remove a value in the second position, which is Avinash. That's what I added, right? So this is what I have inserted just below before. So I just wanted to remove that. So I can mention the position of that value, and then when you execute it, so it is going to show you that value, okay, which is deleted. So if you print list1, you won't see Avinash, or you won't see the number 40. Okay, because both are deleted. Okay, so the meaning of pop is deleting a value based on index provided. Okay, based on index provided. So based upon the index number that you are providing, so it is going to delete that value in that position. Okay, so that's what happening using pop. And there is one more function called remove. Okay, so list1 dot remove. So remove basically directly takes the value. So the difference between pop and remove is nothing but, in pop we are giving the position. Okay, we are giving the position. Based on the position, whatever the value is there, it is going to delete. Okay, but in remove, it removes the value that you are mentioning. Okay, only the first occurrence. Okay, so if I say remove 1, it removes it. Okay, it removed the value 1. So print list1, the first occurrence is gone. Okay, so you can see here there is a difference. In the second position 1 is there. Now I have deleted the value 1. Okay, so now it's gone. Okay, now it's gone, there is nothing before 2. So now in the second position there is a value 2. Okay, and similarly I'll copy this again and rerun the same thing. Okay, I'll rerun the same thing one again. So now let's see what happens. So you can see here the true has gone here after 34.5. Okay, after 34.5 there is true, but now it is gone. Okay, true is being removed. Okay, true is being removed clearly. So that's what happens. Okay, if you wanted to remove that. So that's what the difference between pop and remove. Using pop we are removing, okay, we are removing a value based upon the index provided, but a remove function takes the value to remove them directly. Okay, takes the value. Okay, and next function list1 dot, so a reverse. Okay, so reverse, so I have executed it. So it is just going to reverse your whole data. Okay, so whatever the data is there, it is just going to print it reversely. So that's what happens. Okay, if I execute this again, it will be normal. Okay, execute it, go back. So it just reverses. Okay, so reverse converts the list to backwards. Okay, that's what a reverse function does. Okay, and one more last thing is sort. So sorting is going to apply. Okay, so if I apply sort on this one, it doesn't happen because sort function can be applied only. Sorting is basically nothing but arranging your data in a particular order, either it is descending order or the ascending order. Okay, so when I'm applying sort function, this comparison operator does not support between instances of list and integer. Okay, list and integer. So that means if you compare one less than this particular value, that is meaningless, right? One less than this value, or something, any string, one less than b or one less than a, that is meaningless, right? So it won't work. So if you have to apply sorting, it always have to be numbers, or it always have to be strings. Okay, separately. If there is whole strings only, then it can apply, sorting can be applied. If there is whole numbers only, then sorting can be applied. But if it is a combination of different data types, it won't be applied. Okay, so let's take a new list 4. So I'll give 45, 66, 33, 12, 92, something like this. Okay, so now if I apply list 4 dot sort, so print list 4, you can see the values are sorted in the ascending order. Okay, 12, 23, 35, 32, 45, 66, 67 and 90. Okay, so all these values are sorted. Okay, all these values are sorted. Okay, and coming to the next thing, so if you want to do it in the descending order, okay, use the same sort, and here there is one thing called reverse is equals to false. Okay, so reverse is equals to false, you can just make it reverse is equal to true, so that it is going to be done in ascending order. Reverse is equals to true, that is basically going to do it in descending order. Okay, so a list can be reversed like this. Okay, sorted like this, either ascending order or descending order. So reverse is equal to false, ascending order, reverse is equals to true, descending order. Okay, yeah, and copy. So there is one more function called copy. List1 dot copy. So I'll put something called list5 is equal to list1 dot copy. Okay, so whatever the data that is there in list1, that will be copied in list5. So list5 has the same data. Okay, but there is actually one more way, which is, let's say list6 is equals to list1, both are same. Okay, so print list5 and print list6. So we can do this way or this way, both are same. Okay, either we can use list1 dot copy or directly assign a new variable. Okay, new variable to the older variable. Okay, so both will be doing the same. But if I am applying, so let's say list5 dot remove, or let's say append. Okay, list5 dot append, let's say I'll add one value. Okay, append one value, so let's say I'm appending this value. So if I print list5 I have this, and print list 1, there is no that value. Okay, the same thing I'll do with list 6. Okay, so I'll do the same thing with list 6 here. Let me add list 6. Okay, and I'll print list 6. List 6, we have appended the value. Now let's just check list 1. So we actually did not insert appended to list 1 at all. Okay, even if you see in list 5 we have appended, right? And in list 6 we have appended. When we are appending a value inside list 5 and when we are checking in the list 1, both are not, I mean in list 1 it is not appending. Okay, but in list 6 when we are appending, in list 1 also that operation is happening. Okay, that operation is happening. So that means when you are using list 1 is equal to list 1, whatever the operation that you are applying on list 6, that will be applied on list 1 also. Okay, list 1 also, because both are same. But list 5 and list 1 are not same here because we are using dot copy. Okay, we are copying. Okay, we are copying into a uh, separate variable. Okay, you can consider like this. Say for example, in your system you have two folders. Okay, so like one of the folder data you have copied into the another folder. So if you are deleting a file in one folder, that doesn't mean the other file, the other folder file will not be deleted, right? In the same way the copy function works. Okay, so we are copying from one variable to another variable using the dot copy function. So this is assignment and this is copy. So both are completely different. So when you are copying, when you are assigning and dot copying, so you are having the same data, but if you are applying operations, then there will be the difference. Okay, so that's what the difference between copy and normal assigning a value to the variable. Okay, that's the difference. And coming to the last operation, which is clear. Clear basically just empties your list. Okay, so if I say list 5 is this, right? So list 5 dot clear, execute, and now if you execute list 5, there won't be anything. It's an empty list. Okay, it's an empty list. There is nothing inside that list. Okay, so that's what clear does. Okay, that's what clear does. So these are the operations involved with list. Okay, these are the operations that are involved with list. So any doubts till this part? So we have discussed count, index, insert, pop, which is deleting a value based on index, and remove based upon the value we are deleting directly, and then reversing, sorting, and copy and clear. Okay, so all these operations. So any doubt till this part? Anyone? Okay, fine then. Now let's do list indexing. Okay, so in strings we did the indexing. I've shown you start value, stop value, and step value. Okay, start value, stop value, and step value. The same thing can be applied in list also. Okay, the same thing can be applied in list also. Okay, so let's take list 1. So we did this list 1, the string 1 of 0 we did. The same way we can apply this same thing here, list 1 of 0, so which gives the first value. Okay, which gives the first value. And similarly list 1 of -1, which gives the last value inside the list, right? So last value of the list, correct? So and list 1 from 0, colon. Okay, 0 colon. It doesn't have any end, so we are not giving any stop value. It is giving me all the values. Okay, all the values. Previously in strings it is considered as one character. Okay, in list it will consider as one value. So 30 is one value, 20 is one value, 10 is one value. So in the 0th position 30 is there. Okay, at the first position 20 is there. Okay, and in the second position 10 is there, like that. Okay, so if I am putting like this, that means I am giving the start value. Okay, start position is 0 and I am not giving the stop position, so it is going till the end. Okay, till the end. And then if you are giving step value, then of course by default step value is 1, but if you are mentioning the step value, it simply skips that number of values. Okay, so let's print list 1 of 0 column, some till -1, let's say. Okay, and let's give some 3. So 0th value. Okay, and then it is directly going into the third position. Okay, 0 plus 3 and then 3 plus 3, which is 2. Okay, this part, like that. So it's just moving on like that. And reversing, so we have seen list dot reverse, but list reversing also we can do simply by starting with -1. Remember how did we completely reverse a string? So we are putting -1, adding with -1. The step value is -1 basically. So putting -1, so everything will be reversed. Okay, so this is also one way of doing reverse. Okay, so either you can use reverse function itself. Okay, either you can use reverse function or you can use something like this. Okay, reverse indexing. So reverse indexing, so we are just simply doing -1. Okay, we are just simply doing -1. So like this we can do indexing. Okay, so any value you want, any part you want, you can get, right? So you can start with anywhere. Okay, you can start with anywhere and end it anywhere. Okay, so I'll start with some 4th position and I'll go till 15th position and I'll give a step of 2. So it is just going to give me the 4th value, 4th position value. Okay, 6th position value, 7th 8th position value, and so on. Okay, all the even numbers from 4th position. Okay, till 15, that means 14th position, till 14th position it is going to give me like that. Okay, so yeah, that's indexing, guys. Any doubts till this part? List indexing. Not sure any one of you are hearing or not. Yeah, Krishna. This one? Okay. So as I have told you yesterday in the strings, so how indexing works: 0, start value, stop value, and step value, right? So if you are putting the start value as 0 and the stop value as -1 and step value as 3, here I have given that. That means my indexing starts with 0. Okay, 0 will be printed. That means the value in the 0th position will be printed first. Okay, the value in the 0th position, which is 30. Okay, 30 is the value in the 0th position. And the next value that will be printed is 0 plus 3. Okay, 0 plus 3. Third value will be printed. So 0, this is 1, and this is 2, and this is 3. That's why the next value that is printed is 5. Okay, and then the next value after this is 3 plus 3. Okay, so after 5, okay, next 3, add 3. So it is going to be this one. Okay, 3, third version, 4th, 5th, and 6th version. So 2, and so on. So it goes 6 plus 3, right? So on till the end. So minus 1 means whatever the last value, so last but one value, till this part it goes. Okay, till that part it checks. Okay, so it got here, and once it reached here, after doing plus 3 it is reaching till the end. So however, it always goes till n minus 1 only, so it always has to check this part only. So that's why it stopped at 2 only. Okay, so that's why it stopped at 2. So that's how the output we got. Understood this part? Yeah. Okay. And coming to the reversal, same thing. So we are starting with minus 1. So when we are starting with minus 1, the meaning is, so minus 1 will be printed first, and then minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, which is minus 2, then minus 2, minus 1, okay, and so on, minus 3, minus 1, and completely. So minus 1 is the last value, minus 2 is the last but one, minus 3 is the last but third value, third value from the last, like that. So that's how reverse indexing works. And this is basically adding from the fourth position. So 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 2, 10, like that. So that's how it is keep on adding, and it is printing the values. Okay, so that's indexing. Any more doubts here? Anyone? Okay, fine. Okay, so yeah, that's lists operations and list indexing. Okay, so the other thing that we are going to discuss is tuples. Basically, tuples are least used data structures of all, because tuples are immutable. Immutable is nothing but we cannot update or change it. Okay, so tuples are immutable. Okay, and so there are only two operations. Okay, only two operations are default. Okay, there are only two default operations. Okay, operations for tuples. So that's why these are very least used. So let's say if I want to create a tuple, okay, so one way I can create is I can put parenthesis. Okay, so for list we can create a list by putting square brackets. For tuples we can create it by putting parenthesis. Okay, curved brackets. Okay, so I can put any data type. Okay, so can store any data type. Can store any data type. Okay, that's one thing. So let's give one thing. I'll give 23, 45, 3.4, some D, ABC. Okay, I'll give true, 1, false, 0, something like this. Okay, so this is one way of creating a tuple, or there is a other way. So yesterday we have created a list using like this. So a list of applied on a string. Okay, list of applied on a string variable. The same way you can apply tuple also. Tuple of. Okay, you can see the coloring. It is a green color. That is a predefined function. Okay, so tuple of any value. So which is list 1. So you can see the square brackets are changed to parentheses. Okay, the square brackets are changed to parentheses. So that's what happened. So like this you can create tuple. Okay, so let me put this as tuple 2. So tuple 1 and tuple 2 I have created, but if you see the operations there won't be much. So tuple 1 dot count and tuple 1 dot index, only two operations, we cannot do much. Okay, so tuple 1 dot count, same thing that we did in list 1. Okay, how many number of occurrences for a specific value. So if I say true, it is given two values because 1 is also considered. Okay, and tuple 1 dot count of 0, so it gives two values because false is also considered. Okay, so tuple 1 dot count of 23, So there is only one value. So this is one operation. Okay, count we can do, and the other option operation is index. Okay, so tuple 1 dot index. So same like above, it is just going to give the index. Okay, give the index position. So if I give d, okay, so d is in which position? It is in third position. Okay, 0 1 2 3, third position. So execute it. So it is going to give me the number at which position the particular value that you are giving is there. It is just going to return that. Okay, but it is providing like this. Let's see normal indexing. Tuple 1 of 0, it gives 23. So the same indexing what you are applying on in list can be applied in tuple also. Okay, the same indexing that you are applying. So tuple 1 square bracket 0 colon 15. Okay, whatever, so it is going to give out. So of course 15 are not there, let's give -1. So it goes till the end, the last part one till -2 it goes. So like that. Okay. So any value you want, you can take. So tuple 1 of starting with -1, and I'll give -1. So reverse indexing. Okay, reverse indexing. So that's it. This is what tuple. Okay, so tuple we have only two operations. There is not much with tuples that we can do. And one more thing, in list we did dot append, dot extend, dot pop, dot remove, dot insert to add or remove the data. Okay, to add or remove the data. But in tuple there is no possibility of adding the data. Okay, if you want to add a data, you have to convert this tuple back into a list. You have to add the data when it is a list and then convert back into a tuple. Okay, so the step is something like this. So tuple conversion to list, add data to list, and then convert list to tuple. So this is what the only way that you can add the data. Okay, so add to add or delete. Okay, delete data in a tuple. Okay, these are the only steps that you can do. Okay, these are the only steps that you can do. So let's take tuple 1. Okay, so if I have to convert this into a list, so like yesterday we did list of tuple. So now this is converted into a list, right? So let's say I'll name this as list 10. Okay, so I've converted this into a list. Now let's say list 10, I just wanted to add append some 20. Okay, so now list 10 has 20. Now I'll convert this back into tuple. So tuple of list 10, it is converted, and I will name this back as tuple 1. So this is the only option. Okay, this is the only option to modify. Okay, either to remove or to add. This is the only option. What we are doing, we are converting a tuple into a list. Okay, and then we are appending 20. Okay, we are appending number 20 into the list, and once that is happening, once that is done, okay, we are converting back that using tuple. Okay, tuple of list 10. So that means it is again converted back into a tuple. Now you can see. Okay. And we know how to check the type of a variable. So type of tup1, which is tuple, the data type. Okay, simply a tuple. So a tuple is one more data structure which we store the data in parentheses. Okay, and it has only two operations that we can do. One is count and one is index. Okay, and as we did indexing for strings and lists, we can also do the indexing for tuples also. Okay, and if you want to modify anything in a tuple, you need to convert the tuple into a list, and once that is converted into a list, then we are going to add or delete anything into that list, and then convert back the list to tuple. Okay, this is what the only way that we can modify. Okay, Yeah, so that's tuple and list. Okay, so any doubts in this tuple? How to create, how to count, how to do the indexing, and then how to modify data in a tuple.